Hello everybody, today I'm going to be reviewing volume number 3 of Natsume Akatsuki's light novel series, Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World. Now this volume picks up where volume number 2 left off, and that is Kazuma is now facing charges of sedition. Basically, they're saying that it's his fault that a bomb was transported to the house of a local noble and caused that house to explode. Thankfully, nobody died in that explosion, but nonetheless, Kazuma's basically being seen as a terrorist. And so in this volume, it is up to him, along with his ragtag members of his group, to try and clear his name, to try and fix some of the problems that they have left in their wake, and maybe clean up some of the messes that a certain useless goddess has done, because they're not going to make Kazuma look any better in front of the people that are going to be trying him. As I'm reading this book, I'm really thinking to myself, how the heck am I going to review this in a way that's going to help anybody? Because if you've read volumes 1 and 2 of Konosuba, you pretty much know what you're getting in volume number 3. It still has that, all the stuff that makes you laugh in volumes 1 and 2, it's all here. All the things that make this series a bit unique than your other isekais. The fact that all the characters are in some ways really powerful and capable, and in many other ways they are a bunch of screw-ups and very messed up and damaged. And you know, this team, as much as they at times seem to have each other's back, will then just turn around willy-nilly and stab someone in the back and throw them under the bus. It's, you know, it really is one of those series that pretty much stays true to itself regardless of what volume you're in. That said, what I did appreciate that was done with this volume is that we start getting a little bit more background on Darkness. Darkness specifically, I would say we get the most background on. She's been a little bit of a mysterious figure in the past 2 books. There's been little hints that there's a little bit more to her than meets the eye, and we finally get sort of that information in this book, and it really does kind of change your opinion of the girl, and I'm not sure if it's in a good way or not. And then we also start getting a little bit of backstory on Megumin, because she has this school friend who shows up, Yunyun, and well, Yunyun is kind of an unreliable individual, so it's not exactly clear just what kind of person Megumin was before we got into this series, but we are kind of finding out a little bit more about her backstory. So we're starting to get a little bit more backstory to some of our other characters, which I really enjoy. If you left them as that one beat character, oh, Megumin likes to blow things up. Oh, Darkness wants to get beat up because, you know, it gets her off. Yeah. I mean, if you kept that up with no building of their character, with no depth or dimension to them other than that, I mean, sure, they would kind of still be funny, but eventually I think they'd be that one-trick pony that the laughs would just die out because, well, really, I mean, you just can't read the same thing over and over and over again and still be entertained by it, at least not in the same way you were the first couple times. So I was glad to see that we're getting a little bit more information on the characters that, and of course done in a still very sarcastic and crass kind of way. There's also, I can't spoil it, but this book ends on sort of a beat that would suggest to me that the series is going to change a little bit. I mean, obviously I'm not sure because, well, I haven't read beyond book number 3, but book number 3 seems to be a bit of a transition. It sort of is, here's what their life has been for volumes 1, 2, and most of volume 3, and now we leave them in a situation at the end of volume 3 that suggests, to me at least, that volume 4 could be changing things up a little bit. And I would like to see that, to be honest. I really like these characters. They are a lot of fun, and I was having fun in this volume getting to know a little bit more about their backstory. It made them even a little bit more twisted and fun to me, but at the same time, I'm a little bit more excited at being able to see these characters in different circumstances and kind of working together in a different way because, as I said earlier, reading the same thing over and over and over again, I think will get a bit tiring. And this is not the kind of series that I want to tire of. I want to be able to pick up every volume of Konosuba and be excited to read it and get a good laugh out of it and just enjoy my time with these characters. So I was happy with this volume. I really enjoyed it in general. I thought the solutions to certain problems were quite hysterical. As I said, I enjoyed what they did with the characters. I enjoyed getting a little bit more of a deep dive on the backstory, particularly on Darkness. And I was really happy to see sort of a new setup for the story going forward. So really, I mean, what else can you say? If you loved Konosuba's Volume 1 and 2, well, you're gonna like this one too. In fact, I think some of you have said that you thought that this volume was one of the weaker volumes. So, I mean, if that's the case, then I can only think that there's even greater things ahead. So those are my thoughts on volume number 3 of Konosuba. It's a pretty short video today because really, like I said, I don't know what else to say that's new or different about Konosuba at this point. You know what it is. You know whether you like it or not. And if you do like it, well, you should keep reading it at this point. So there you go. My next review is going to be on a brand new volume number 1, just came out a couple days ago, and that is Mikagura School Suite Stride After School. This one's being released by One Piece Books, who are the people behind The Rise of the Shield Hero. So yeah, that's going to be my next review. So if you love light novels and you're new to the channel, you should consider subscribing. I do lots of these reviews every single week, as well as counting down the top 10 best-selling light novels in Japan. Thank you for joining me in this video, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Till then, bye-bye for now.